Have you ever looked at a stock chart rocketing to the moon and thought, I could have seen that coming? Have you ever kicked yourself for missing the boat on a massive trend that seems so obvious in hindsight? I'm talking about the big ones, the market shakers, the moves that make fortunes. Let me tell you something. You don't need a crystal ball. You don't need a secret decoder ring. What you need is a new way of looking at the world. You need to train your eyes and your brain to spot the tremors before the earthquake hits. This isn't magic, folks. It's a skill. And it's a skill that can be learned, practiced, mastered. The question isn't whether the future is predictable. The real question is, are you willing to do the homework to see it first? The mainstream media, the so-called experts, they're always late to the party. The real money, the life-changing gains, are made by those who get in on the ground floor. History is littered with the stories of those who saw the writing on the wall and acted. And it's also a graveyard for companies that were too slow, too arrogant, too blind to see the change coming. Think about Netflix. Remember when they were just mailing DVDs in red envelopes? Blockbuster certainly wasn't worried. A few sharp observers saw the shift from physical media to digital streaming. They understood that faster internet speeds weren't just a convenience, they were a revolution in the making. People who bought Netflix stock early weren't lucky. They were paying attention. Before the iPhone, we had flip phones and Blackberries. The idea of a full-screen phone seemed strange, but Steve Jobs and his team saw where the puck was going. They saw convergence, internet, camera, telephone, into one device. Early investors who understood this vision were rewarded with a once-in-a-generation stock. The opposite is also true. The corporate boneyard is full of giants who missed the memo. Kodak invented the digital camera, but buried it to protect film. Blockbuster passed on Netflix. We know how these stories end. Being early is survival. The market rewards foresight and punishes complacency. You have an advantage over big funds. You're nimble. You can act on a hunch, an observation at the mall, a chat with your kids. You get to ride the wave instead of being hit by it. That's the game we're here to play. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually do this? It starts with becoming an active observer, not a passive consumer. Develop wide-angle vision. Stop just looking at stock tickers. Start looking at the world around you. Read voraciously, but not just the Wall Street Journal. Read niche publications, read trade magazines, read tech blogs, read scientific journals. Look for the small stories in the back pages. A tiny breakthrough in battery technology, a new regulation affecting water usage, a new type of material being tested. These are the seeds. Become a people watcher, a cultural anthropologist. Watch your kids, younger colleagues, skate parks. What apps are they obsessed with? What slang are they using? How are they communicating? Youth are the ultimate early adopters. Changes in social behavior are powerful leading indicators. When a behavior is normalized among a passionate group, ask, what business opportunities does this create? Who benefits if it goes mainstream? Look at shipping data from ports. Look at patent filings. Look at job postings. Is a non-tech company suddenly hiring AI specialists? This info is often free. You just have to dig. Finally, connect the dots. No single signal is a sure thing. It's about synthesis. The modern world is a fire hose of information. It's a constant cacophony of breaking news, hot takes, market gossip. If you try to pay attention to everything, you'll end up paying attention to nothing. The key is learning to filter. You gotta separate the signal from the noise. A fad is a flash in the pan. Intense, shallow, burns out quickly. A trend is a fundamental long-term shift. It's got legs. It solves a problem and unlocks new capability. Ask, does it solve a real problem or make something significantly easier, cheaper, or better? Is it being adopted by different, unrelated groups of people? Is an ecosystem being built? Services, accessories, platforms? Don't follow hot money chasing the latest meme. Instead, follow smart money, where top VCs are placing bets. Track investments through industry publications. Develop healthy skepticism of the mainstream narrative. The media often amplifies noise for clicks. Your job is to stay calm and focus on fundamentals. When markets panic about rates, read about long-term demand drivers, like copper for the green transition. When everyone chases a hot IPO, investigate boring, under-the-radar companies quietly gaining market share. Tune out the daily chatter. Tune into generational shifts. That's where the real money is made. There is no single magic formula for spotting trends that works for every industry. Signals that scream massive change in healthcare are different from those in retail or manufacturing. You have to tailor your approach. Become a specialist in areas you know or that fascinate you. Your personal experience and passion are your greatest assets. If you focus on consumer retail, your laboratory is the shopping mall, the grocery store, and social feeds of influencers. Look for packaging shifts, brands moving to sustainable materials, and rising pop-up concepts. Watch supply chain changes, reshoring, nearshoring. These are tangible signals. Track DTC brands on Instagram and Shopify. The future of retail is often written there, not on Wall Street. For agriculture and industrials, signals are tech and regulation. Drone crop monitoring, genetic seed breakthroughs, infrastructure bills. Watch infrastructure funding for projects like high-speed rail or grid upgrades. Heavy iron shifts are slower but monumental. Build a custom dashboard of sources for each industry. CES, patent databases, Stratechery-style analysis for tech. The Lancet and FDA notices for healthcare. Create your personal intelligence network. Don't just consume, synthesize. Ask, what does this mean for the companies I follow? Who wins, who loses? Customize your lens to go from generalist to market pro. Tailor your tools and sources by sector, then apply the same discipline synthesis. Recognizing market shifts is not a one-time event, it's a discipline. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised regularly. The single most important thing you can do is keep a journal. I'm serious. Get a notebook or start a simple document. Every time you spot a potential signal, write it down. A weird new product, a strange data point, a new behavior you observe, write it down. Date it, note what it might mean. Don't judge. Collect notes into a folder. Over time, you'll build a proprietary database of insights. Review periodically, you'll see patterns. This builds confidence when your early hunches appear on CNBC. This isn't about being right every time. Don't be afraid to be wrong. Every incorrect prediction is a learning opportunity. When a signal fizzles, revisit your notes. Did you mistake a fad for a trend? Overestimate adoption speed? Miss counter signals? Honest self-assessment separates amateurs from pros. Failure is a stepping stone. Ultimately, this comes down to curiosity. Find joy in the hunt and in connecting disparate dots. Start today, open that journal, pay attention on your commute, ask more questions, turn observations into strategic insights. The market is waiting to tell you its secrets. Go become the master forecaster you were meant to be. There's always a bull market somewhere. Booyah.